This is Han and Adrian's really cool software, LeadFlow360. I kept, and this is a good thing. I encourage this. Hey, Mike, how are you? Brian, I encourage this. I kept getting a lot of questions from you guys through support, also through social media, so which is fine. While I'm thinking about it, just in case, let me pop our support link into the chat here in case you don't have it. You're always welcome to send in a ticket. Mark from sunny England. Sometimes England's sunny. My daughter was actually in Oxford. She's in college here in the United States. She was in Oxford last summer, and I think it was during that incredible heat wave y'all had, or maybe have, I don't know. But the pictures look pretty good. But usually England's not sunny. So if you're being facetious, I feel bad for you. If you're just saying it's sunny, then wonderful. But anyway, it's miserable. Feels like winter again. Sorry to hear that. So raining all day. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, guys. It is what it is. It's a nice country and has wonderful people. So, you know, at least you got that, right? So back to the ranch. I got a lot of questions from you guys in various ways, in various places, all of which is fun. And I thought it would just be cool. Let's just do a webinar. And let me just walk you through this with the caveat that I've been playing with this software myself for probably 2 or 3 days. I'm not yet an expert. I'm still trying. It's really cool software. I run an ongoing business, though. I can't just like suddenly change things and say, well, let's just go over here and do this new thing. I have to figure out exactly how things are going to dovetail into an ongoing enterprise, which is kind of like what I'm figuring out now. But anyway, having said all of that, I want to look at LeadFlow360. If I can, feel free to ask all the questions you want to. If I can answer them intelligently or even unintelligently, I'm going to take a shot at it. If there's a question that I just flat out don't know, then I've got a pad and a piece of paper here right next to me. I will write it down. It's easy for me to reach out to Han and Adrian, and I'll just ask them, and they should give us an answer back, you know, within a reasonable amount of time, given the fact that Adrian lives 6-7 hours away from here, where I live in Romania. So without further ado, let's take a look at this thing. So, LeadFlow360. Now, I'm doing more than just demoing the software, okay? I did a video of you guys kind of I was demoing the software, and obviously you can go to YouTube, and I've emailed that to you. You can go to YouTube and look at it, or just go open up one of my emails. It's there. I want to do more than demo the software. I really want to talk about how to make money with this. There are a ton of ways of doing this. I want to talk about one specific thing that you really might want to consider thinking about, because it's just so brain dead easy. And the moment I opened up this software, I don't know, what was it, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I can't remember. But the moment I opened up this software and looked at it, I thought, man, that fits right into that particular business model, which is part of what I do, that kind of thing. And I know I'm being vague, because we'll get to details in just a minute. And the software was tailor-made for a specific kind of business model. Now, this does not mean that this is the only thing you can use that you can use it for. Okay, this is really cool lead. I wouldn't call it scraping. I would call it lead finding software, because it works through Facebook's API, and you can do a ton of things with it. I'm just presenting one complete picture for you out of probably 25 complete pictures. So with that said, let's kind of take a walk through here. So here's the dashboard, obviously, and the big deal here is searching leads. What I really liked about this when I saw it was the fact that it searches leads through Facebook. I mean, that right there gives you a hint about what to do with it, because if you're finding leads through Facebook, i.e. social media, then it kind of might make sense to have, to use this in the ongoing context of selling social media services to businesses, right? Because you're finding businesses on social media. And I mean, surely you could find businesses on social media, go check them out on YouTube and sell them videos all day long. That would be another cool thing. I'm just saying that it just kind of makes sense to use this to create a social media business with a, with more of a recurring income stream. And I'm not saying that YouTube or something, Google Maps or something else like that won't work at all. I'm just saying social media is what came to my mind because I love selling businesses content marketing, social media content marketing. The reason that I love that is they need it. It's, once you know how, and I'm going to go over some of the how for you on this webinar. Once you know how, you can set this up to be a completely autopilot thing, and then you just get paid monthly, sometimes for 2 or 3 years, if not longer, right? Mike, you don't actually download this software. It's available, it's cloud-based software. So you go to, well, look, Mike, there, app.leadfollow360.net. Now I'm logged in, okay? So you're not going to see the login page because I'm already logged in, but Mike, go there, you will be presented with a login page, all right? And once you get logged in, then you're good to go. So Mike, probably what you need is the login for LeadFlow360, which should have been sent to you automatically. If it wasn't, contact Hans support. He's got great support. I actually know a couple of the people that work with him, okay? And they're super good, all right? So contact them, they'll get you straightened out. So again, I love the emphasis on Facebook. I love the emphasis on social media because I love doing content marketing for businesses because it's an easy way to come up with to create a recurring income service, and it is really easy to automate that whole thing. So that, and also if you get the pricing right, you get very, very few of your clients are going to quit paying you. Now see, that becomes a beautiful thing because that means that all you have to do is decide how much money you want to make, whether that's like, how much revenue you want to generate. Okay, so $150,000 a year, $250,000 a year, whatever it is, divide that by what you're charging businesses, and that's the number of clients that you need to go out and get, at which point, which is not going to be prohibitively large, but at which point you don't have to do all that heavy prospecting anymore. See, I love that stuff, right? Where you build out, it's like having a ranch and you've got you've got a lot of cows, okay? And you decide that, the cows and the bulls and all that stuff that you have, this is as big as I want my ranch to be. This is going to give me everything I need. Well, when, every now and then you got to replace a bull or replace a cow, right? Which is a whole heck of a lot easier than growing the herd in the first place. So the way that you use this, search leads. Now you can look at Facebook pages, Facebook places. You're going to get overlapping but slightly different results. Either way, I mainly have been working with this myself with Facebook pages. And let's enter a keyword and a location. So we're going to enter a business type and a place. So heating and air, and let's just say Atlanta, Georgia. All right. And now it's going to search. So Mike and everybody else who has not logged in, okay, and you haven't gone through the little setup, you do have to connect this with your Facebook account. If it's not connected with your Facebook account, then this little icon here will be sort of grayed out and it will not be clickable. And so, but it will prompt you that, hey, you need to connect this with your Facebook account. That was really easy to do. No copying of big long strings and stuff like that. I mean, it was a couple of clicks, bam, we're connected, and I'm good to go. So just a little heads up there. If it's not automatically working for you, it's going to be because you're not connected. You didn't connect it to Facebook. But we're going to search this, right? And we get some results, right? So you get a lot of information from this. And if you're doing social media marketing, this is really, really, really good information to get. Let's go over real quick these buttons. I'm going to save the ad to campaign. Michael, yes, absolutely. I am recording this. Usually takes about, by the time I finish, download it, we cut out a couple of little things and upload it back to our hosting. 2 or 3 hours ish, something on that order, maybe 4. I mean, I don't do all that myself. I give it to the team and they do it, but 4 hours, something like that. At which point I will send this back out to you, and you can look at it either on a page that we have for you to look at it on, which we'll be completing in just a minute, or I'll also pop it up on YouTube, Mike. So if you're connected with me on YouTube, by the way, guys, if you guys are not connected, if you guys are not subscribed to my channel on YouTube, you're totally missing out. I'm just saying. So I mean, there's more stuff there for free than in 99.9% of the info products that you have ever bought. I got a couple of people saying they need to subscribe. Let's just take care of this right now. If you want to subscribe to my channel, I'll pop that in the chat for you. And please subscribe. I generally upload several videos a month. I have kind of taken the summer off, but we will get back on the stick fairly soon. But anyway, I mean, there's like 800 videos there. So it's a ton of stuff. Daniel, I just popped the link to subscribe to my particular channel into the chat. So click that, go over there. Awesome. Daniel says he has it. So back to the ranch. Yeah, I'm liking the ranch metaphor, But anyway, so you get a ton of stuff. Okay, so add to campaign, we'll go over that last, and I'm going to click on these and we can look at them. Generate SEO report, Facebook report, get Google reviews, show on map. The map is pretty obvious. I may not click on that one. And then send email. Notice how send email is grayed out. Now this is because I have not connected this particular account to my email, and you can connect it to various types of emails, including Gmail. So you can, from within this software, you can be emailing your leads, but it would come from either your own domain if you set it up that way, or it would come from blah 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 at gmail.com, either way. Okay. And again, the reason that you see this grayed out and nothing happens when I hover over it is I have not connected this particular account to email yet. SEO report, cool stuff. Very, very good. And if you're familiar with Google Lighthouse, in other words, if you're familiar with Google's new way of scoring things so that you get a sense of, now this is not talking about the Facebook page. This is talking about the, we're talking about the URL here, their website, specifically the mobile part of their website. But this is really important. This is not social media marketing per se, but for those of you who are into local business SEO, this is a really nice report. Okay, so, and it has a lot of parts to it. I'm not going to sit here and read all this stuff to you. It's a great report to print out and mail. It's a great report to save and pop in an email. And it points out difficulties, stuff that you as a service provider would really like for your client to hire you to do, like no XML sitemap, no sitemap. That's kind of a basic issue there. Index pages and search engines, that's kind of odd, 0 pages. Backlinks, okay, et cetera, et cetera. They're not all that many. We call it HVAC here in the United States, which means heating, ventilation, air conditioning, I believe. I mean, it's not like there's going to be a ton of those for the city of Atlanta. Atlanta is a pretty big city, 6 million people in metro Atlanta, approximately. So there's going to be a bunch of them, but it's not like you're trying to rank for, I don't know, Viagra. Okay, you know, where you would have literally millions of competitors. So basic SEO, I'm pointing out the basic SEO is going to help your clients a lot. This is a great report to work off of. So you get that. Generate Facebook report. And I would just be honest with you, I had a little trouble with this button earlier. I didn't reload the software, but I logged out and logged back in and hit it. And it actually worked. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know why it's working there. I mean, it's the same thing. So if you have any issues, either tell Han and Adrian. They're really good about supporting their software. Tell Han and Adrian, or tell me, and I'll just let them know. Hey, you know, the Facebook report button isn't working all the time. Once this webinar is over, I'm going to send Han a little message to let him know that. But anyway, so you get the same type of thing, right? And this is something that the kind of thing that you would send a potential client saying, if they have stuff on their Facebook page that needs attention, like if they did not have an about, for instance, or they didn't have a decent profile picture, you would want to inform them and hopefully get them to hire you to supply all this. Now, it looks like these guys are doing fairly good in terms of getting that set up. They're really missing the boat on the really important thing, which I'm going to show you in just a few minutes. Let's go back to this one. Get Google reviews, that does exactly what it said, what you would think it would do. Show on map, that does exactly what you would think it would do. So you get a lot of stuff. Now I will say you do get some false positives, although not many. In other words, yeah, this is going to be Atlanta. I'm not sure why it says Auburn. I found some a little later on. Lithia Springs is in Atlanta. We're talking about Metro Atlanta. Dallas is in Metro Atlanta. Woodstock, ditto. We're doing pretty good. So far, I'm an Atlanta native. I've lived here a really long time. In other words, now Ben-Salem, that's not an Atlanta area code. Okay, so this is, I guess, what you would call a false positive. You're going to get a little bit of that. Loganville. So we've scrolled through through 15 or so and got one. It's not bad. It's just that it doesn't really conform to our search criteria, right? Okay. So we got one bum result, which is really not bad for this kind of thing. So I'm just pointing out Drexel Hill is not around here. Okay. And that's not one of our area codes. I'm pointing out that can happen. To my mind, it's really not important. Let me show you what I'm looking for. If you click on this, it's going to take you over to their business page, right? And if you will remember the report that I just opened, you remember this was at the top of the report, okay? And you can see, you can just take a look at this and get a sense of what they're doing, right? Well, what I'm really looking for myself is how well they are doing social media posting. In other words, and this is really critical, especially for businesses like this. I mean, think about how you would hire a business like this. Okay, so you got a furnace problem, you got a central air problem, whatever. You got to call somebody, you don't know who to call. You start checking around. I mean, a lot of people check this stuff out on Facebook, and you're going to kind of wonder, well, I mean, who's reputable, right? Yeah, Robert. Yeah, Ben Salem and Drexel Hill are way off base. Yeah, and I don't, that the fact that they're not really false positives, but the fact that those don't really conform to the search result, that's coming from Facebook. That really has nothing to do with the software itself. But anyway, so think about how you buy stuff, right? And how you decide to hire somebody like this. When you hire a heating and air contractor, you're not spending $20, right? I mean, so it is something that is worth your thinking through, and that most people don't just hire the first person or the first ad they see or the first business page they land on, right? They kind of check them out and kind of wonder about them. Well, look at this. This looks really, really awful. And I can guarantee you these guys are losing business because of this. So we are here in August the 16th of 2019. And the last time they posted was April the 27th of 2018. Wow, that's over a year ago. Well, let's just scroll down through here and see what's happening. April 2018. The first part of April 2018, somebody was trying to do something. February 2018. It's not like the page is dead, but it's on life support, right? This just does not look good. Now, I understand why, okay? And this is where you come in as a marketing service provider. It's a pain in the neck for these guys to come up with a cool picture, say something that doesn't sound stupid, and then post it, right? It's a little bit of a pain in the neck. As a matter of fact, this company is apparently owned by a guy named Phil Montgomery, and I actually found him on Twitter over here. All right, and his Twitter account has exactly the same problem. Matter of fact, the last time he tweeted something was February the 20th, 2018. Is this guy necessarily going to buy a social media marketing service from you? No, of course not. I mean, just because you found a lead does not mean that you have a sale. But this particular business desperately needs social media help. The page looks stupid. I mean, look, they've got it all set up, all right? The page looks stupid because it's been essentially abandoned. They really need your help. Now, without boring you while we look through others, let me show you what I'm looking for. I'm looking for businesses and their pages where I know that the business is having some difficulty managing the page, okay? Because again, if you know how to do it, getting the page set up is a no-brainer. Managing the page, i.e. posting stuff, can all be done through very inexpensive software. Look at the number of likes they have, 36. That should tell you something. So I'm kind of looking through here, likes 0. I don't think this is a real business, frankly, but we'll just kind of skip that one. For one thing, they got an 800 number, which is pretty stupid for a local business, for a local service business. I'm skipping this one. Likes 516, and I'm thinking, so what I'm looking at is I'm going down through here. We're doing a lot of searches. We're going down through here, and we're just sort of pulling out the businesses, that's that same business, the businesses where they don't have a ton of likes, all right? Because if they don't have a ton of likes, now notice I have not really looked at their page yet, but if they don't have a ton of likes, if they got a ton of likes, like a few thousand, then they're probably doing okay. And I'm trying to zero in on businesses that need help. So not having many likes would be sort of a symptom of needing help. I think I looked at this one preparing for the webinar, and I think these guys are actually posting fairly regularly, if I remember. Hang on a sec. I have many right here that I bookmarked, not bookmarked, but that I've got open. Just so you can see that you're going to find a ton. August the 5th, today's the 16th. That's not bad. Let's look at the, just because you have a fairly recent date still does not mean that they don't need help. I mean, you need to scroll down through here. You're looking for, you want to dismiss the businesses that have regular posting. Every few days would be regular posting. Just getting all, hot and bothered and saying, man, I really need to, post some stuff on Facebook. It works when we do it. And, I hadn't done it in a long time. And then posting for, this is what most businesses, a lot of businesses do. And then posting, for like a couple of weeks, but then they get busy, right? Because most of these businesses, not all, most of these businesses, or rather many of these businesses, the majority of these businesses are really small businesses. And these guys got enough on their plate dealing with the core business. They do not need to be screwing around with social media. Let's see if we can find some more posts. 5th, 2nd. Yeah, so it looks like they're doing okay. July, these guys are doing okay. They don't really need my help. That one turned out to be doing okay. And I found some others that needed that would need my help or your help. This is that same one that we looked at, and I just happened to just check them out on Twitter. The reason that I would check them out on Twitter, I wouldn't worry about LinkedIn for a service business like this, because a plumber or heating and air company or a smaller painting company, they're not going to get a lot of clients through LinkedIn. They're going to get the majority of their clients through things like Twitter, Facebook, etc. But the reason that I'm checking these out also on Twitter is because if they're screwing up on Facebook, there's like an 80%, 90% chance they're screwing up on Twitter. And using software, we can set them up so that they are getting regular daily postings of stuff related to their business, both on their Facebook page and on Twitter. And it takes us all of maybe 2 hours to set them up forever. Did you hear that? 2 hours forever? Really? It's pretty amazing. In other words, you get a client, you spend 2 hours of your time, or, if you got somebody working for you, their time, even an outsourcer, a couple hours, get them set up. As long as they pay you, you don't really have to screw around doing anything else. I found this one. Okay, so let's look at Summit Heating and Air. And this one was probably about 6 or 7 down that general column, 8. Look at their last post, May. And we've got the 18th. So look, they went through a little flurry of posting here, right? For 2 days in May, and then it was all the way back in January. I mean, you can kind of, and January, okay, so it looks like they just sort of, or he or she, December is pretty close to January. So it's kind of like they just sort of like realize they need to be doing this. And this, I see this pattern a lot. Realize they need to be doing this. Do a little burst of it. What happens is they're getting some business off of that burst, and then they just forget about the social media posting. That's bad for their business, because that kind of thing, that kind of feast or famine type marketing results in big swings in income, which makes growing your business really difficult, if not impossible. It makes managing your cash flow really impossible. In my own business, until I figured that out years ago, I had the same problem. Look at these guys, yet another one. And this is from the same search. All of these that you're seeing here, these are from this exact same search. So we're looking at heating and air, Atlanta. February the 8th, 2 in February the 8th. I guess February was the day to do this, right? The month to do this on. They need help. I can't remember if that was 2018, 2019. It's not like these guys are out of business. They're not out of business. If you check them out online, you give them a call. I mean, they're absolutely not out of business. Look at this one, August the 7th. Now, today's the 16th. That's 9 days. You know, so look, the reason I have this one here is I want to show you something. Don't just look at the first one and say, well, today's the 16th, August the 7th, they're doing good. July the 2nd, that's a month back from August the 7th, right? Let's go back a little more. May the 21st, yeah, a couple of weeks before, May the 21st, May the 20th, and then March. So again, we see that pattern of, you know, post, forget about it. Post, forget about it. These guys are ripe for you guys to contact. And you know what I mean, look, the trades, all right. I mean, these are just, well, look, I'm a Southerner, so you just take what I'm saying and you take the gist of what I'm about to say and fit this into where you live. But all these guys are good old boys, okay? I mean, they don't want to talk to a slick salesperson. They mistrust slick salespeople. If you call them up and you just say, hey, this is the way to do it. I looked at your Facebook page. Looks like you could use a little help with it. I run a little business helping businesses just like yours with it, with that, you know, with that kind of thing. And just want to know if you're interested in us helping you out. Just bam, you know, nothing slick. Just say what you mean what you say, and let them decide yes or no. I found all of these, what do we got, like 5, 6 leads here? Okay, I found all of these within, well, I was also multitasking, which is not a good thing for me, but probably took me 15, 20 minutes. But I was also multitasking. There was something else happening and I was getting interrupted, but also I was thinking about how to present this to you guys so that you could understand the really killer opportunity you have here that the software makes really, really easy. I think that if I would just, you know, shut up and focus, I could get that down. I could probably find 5 or 6 leads in, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. You probably need, in order to get a client, 10 or 15 leads. Okay, it's according to how you decide to reach out to the client. Okay, so let's look at this one and I'll continue explaining that. Here's another one, March, right? February, same idea, February. Let's go down some more. January, and then they just quit, you know. Probably because here where we live in March, the weather starts to, it doesn't get hot, but that's when we start to go into spring and people start to think, you know, well, my AC was making that funny noise last summer. I really need to call these guys before it gets hot as blue blazes and the AC goes out. So they probably get a lot of business going as they change seasons. But again, this feast or famine is not a good idea. Yeah, it's an incredible opportunity. This is an incredible opportunity for you. A couple of, okay, 3 good ways to approach these businesses, all right? Well, 4. Let's talk about 4 good ways to approach these businesses. Well, 1, if you're just hooked up to email, you can send them you've got your particular instance of this software hooked up to your email, you just send them an email, right? And that's not a bad starting place. I personally would not leave it at that. I know some of you guys, and look, I'm not trying to be hurtful at all. I do have some people who reach out to me and you're just really phobic about the telephone. Okay, the cell phone. That's how old I am. I still call it a telephone. You're a little phobic about the phone. That's okay. I understand. I mean, you know, it does take a certain small amount of cojones to just call a business out of the blue. It is what it is. But the fact of the matter is, if you just stick with email, you're going to have to find a lot more leads, like a ton more leads, and send out a ton more emails than I would have to for my business, or that someone else would have to for their business if, listen to this, if they're following up, and this is what I do, following up that email with a phone call. All right. So if you want to cut your prospecting down drastically, if you want to dramatically change your conversion rate from really low to really high, work the phone in there. And again, you do not have to be like the Wolf of Wall Street or something in order to call up a heating and air company and ask them if they would like help with their Facebook page. Look at it like this, guys. Linda, that's a fabulous question. Look at it like this, guys. If you live in a place that you own or that you're responsible for the heating and air in some way, and if the heating breaks in its wintertime or the air breaks in its summertime, unless you're in England where summer is apparently sucking at the moment, just a joke, but you know where I'm going with this. You're going to get on the phone and call one of these guys and say, hey man, I saw you on Facebook, looks like you service my area. You know, the air conditioning is making this funny noise. I mean, we had a compressor make a funny noise a couple of years ago, had to get it replaced. I mean, it happens. You know, when could you guys come out and take a look at it? I mean, you would be capable of making that call, right? Unless you were just like just like morbidly phobic, right? But you're capable of making a call. Daniel, I feel for you. When I went to England many years ago, in July, it was cold as all get out. But you're capable of making that call. So you are capable of calling a heating and air company or a painter or a plumber. The toilet stopped up, I guarantee you're doing something about it, right? And if you can't fix it yourself, you're calling the experts. So why not just get over the calling thing? Believe me on this, if you can manage to call these guys, if you can manage to call these guys, your conversion rates are going to skyrocket. And it's really easy. It's really easy to call. Linda, I haven't forgot about your question. I'm headed that way. Lee, that's a fabulous question. Most of these businesses are fairly small. Now, it's not like, well, some of them are a one-man or one-woman business, and yeah, there are, in the United States at least. I mean, there are plenty of women in plumbing and heating and air now, which is cool. I think that's wonderful. But there are some one-person businesses. Most of these, however, have like a guy that owns the business, a couple of guys that you know, like support crew. And if they got a few trucks, like 2 or 3 trucks, then they probably have a person sitting in some office somewhere actually answering the phone. Okay, that's usually how most of these businesses go. This is not one of those, I can't stand this word, but this is not one of those quote unquote gatekeeper situations. Hold on, Daniel. God, y'all are asking all these great questions, and I got you in mind. Okay, I got you in mind. But this isn't one of these, you know, weirdo gatekeeper situations. You do have actually a gatekeeper phenomenon, i.e., let's define that, someone who's going to answer the phone, one of whose goals is for you not to talk to the person actually running the business. And you really just find that in some high-end medical professions. That's the only place you find that. And the whole rationale behind that is doctors want to be protected from the day-to-day running of stuff because they got to really, I mean, they really have to have their minds on the patient and the patient's welfare, as opposed to answering the phone, right? So you do have that phenomenon in some medical businesses. There's a way to get around that, but that's not what we're talking about here. Believe me, there's plenty of money to be made without having to figure out how to solve that problem, because these guys, heating and air companies, they're happy to talk to you. They get calls all day long. You know, you call, you just act like an adult, you just tell them something intelligent. And let's say you get somebody and for some reason you just get a gut feeling, hey, this is not the manager, this is just some flunky. Well, then just say the same thing. You know, hi, you know, my name's Lee Cole. You use your name. Haha. Hi, my name's Lee Cole. I was looking at y'all's Facebook page, and I help businesses just like yours with social media marketing, and noticed you're having a little trouble with the Facebook page and was wondering who I should talk to about maybe helping you. I mean, if you'll just like ask an intelligent question like that, if you'll do it enough, and it's not going to take too many calls to find somebody really interested in this, if you target the right people at the beginning. See, that's the big secret here, is the targeting, and that's what's so cool that the software allows you to do. You're not going to have to make a bunch of phone calls before you hit on somebody that says, well, yeah, we've been kind of trying that, and you know, it's, you know, I mean, a lot of times this is the job of the office assistant. You know, he or she will say, yeah, you know, I mean, we're just overloaded. And I would say something like that, like, yeah, I understand that. That's exactly why we help businesses like yours, right? Sean, I'm going to go over all of the OTOs and show you everything. So hold on, there is a replay. So if you will just like take off your, oh my God, I've got to be a salesperson hat, and just put back on your, let's just act like a normal adult hat, and start calling a few of these businesses, you're going to do very, very well. Personally, I would call them and follow up with an email. Okay, that's personally what I would do. Hang on, I'm going to go back up here and kind of catch up on my questions. Linda, the report on the first, Linda says, do you send the report on the first email? Whether you send the report or not, Linda, has to do with your goals, okay? If I looked at the business and I thought, my God, they need help with, you know, you know, they don't have a decent profile picture, they don't have their about page straightened out, these guys need some serious help, then yeah, I would send them this report, okay? I would go ahead and send them this report. Now, personally, I would call first, send an email later, and just attach the report somehow to the email, okay? But Linda, for a business where, you know, you're looking at the report, I think this Latino Heating and Air, I don't even think I looked at these guys yet. They're probably, you know, I'm gonna guess they're doing pretty good, but let's suppose they're not, right? You know, if we click on this and they've got all the, you know, bells and whistles in terms of the way the page looks, but they just can't manage the posting, then Linda, I would not send them the report, because there's really no reason for it, but because the report is all about the own page setup stuff, right? And that's not the sale I'm trying to make. I mean, you know, if I sent them the report and they've got all that stuff done, then they're going to say, okay, cool. So, hey, we're really good at this. This is wonderful. That's not the sale I'm trying to make. I'm trying to, you know, connect the dots with them and say, if you would post more frequently, i.e. on a daily basis, you're going to get a ton more business. And that's proven. That's really true. A good thing though, Linda, and everybody else, for you to do is it's so much easier to show people this kind of stuff as opposed to explain to people this kind of stuff, right? I mean, a picture is worth 1,000 words type thing. So why don't you, I'm giving you a really good thing to do. And we'll talk about the specifics of how you do it and all that stuff in a minute. But why don't you set up a quote unquote dummy Facebook page for a quote unquote dummy business, right? in the same market area that you're trying to find clients. So I would have a dummy heating and air business, okay, with everything filled out and all that stuff, and all of the posting, you know, all up to date, daily posting, looking good, ditto Twitter account. And then what's so easy is you just send, you know, if they're kind of like, look, everybody understands Facebook nowadays. It's not like it was 7 years ago, okay? But if they're, you know, if they're kind of, I mean, but granted, the people you're talking to are busy. They're trying to run a business. So you say, look, let me just send you a link and you can look at exactly what I'm talking about. Now you can do that on your phone, right? Okay, so yeah, sure, send me over a link. What's your email? Blah, 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 send them the link. Click on, I'm doing this on the phone with them. This is great selling, guys. So they click on the link. Now, do you see that? You know, just scroll up a little bit. You see all those posts, see how cool that looks? Yeah, that's really cool. You compare that to your page, man, don't even talk about my page. Yeah, well, that's what I'm talking about. We can do that for you. We can do that for you at a very, very cost-effective price. Are you interested in this? That's all the selling you got to do. It's going to be the rare business. Believe me, once you got this down, your closing rate's going to be very, very high. Are you going to close more than half of them? No, you're not going to close more than half of them. That's just, you know, the way business works, but you're probably going to easily close 10%. Now think through that. So if I'm telling you that it took, like, let's say it takes 30 minutes with the software to find 10 leads, and I'm closing 10%, this means that, well, let's say it takes an hour to find 10 leads. Let's say you just suck at using the software. The software is really easy to use. It's going to be hard to screw this up, but I'm just figuring against you. So in other words, you spend an hour because you absolutely suck at this. You spend an hour, you find 10 leads, right? And you call them up like I'm telling you to, send them a follow-up email, get about 10 of them, you're going to get a client. It's about 1 out of 10. I mean, well, you know, all of y'all could do about 1 out of 10. You're going to get a client. And guess what? It's not going to take you, because we're talking about recurring income. Next month, that same client, the one you got this month, is paying you again. All right? The recurring income portion of this is really important. Now, no, still hadn't talked about a couple of little things about, well, Lee, what do we actually sell them? Okay, I'll get there, and I'm going to give you all the resources you need in order to do this. Hang on. Lee says, is there a good or bad time to call? Lee, for me personally, I just like to get this cranked out like middle morning. You know, I'm not going to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and try to catch these guys at 7 when the early birds get to the office or something like that. Maybe I might increase the closing ratio a little bit if I would do that, but that becomes hateful to me. I'd rather, you know, make a few more calls. You can call and talk to 10 businesses easily within an hour. So this means 2 hours of your time per day, you get a client. This should excite the heck out of you. Daniel says, should we look for larger businesses which have money to spend? Daniel, what you're looking for are, whether they're large or small, you're looking for businesses that have a semi-abandoned Facebook page. You're looking for businesses that need help. Now, it just turns out, Daniel, that the really big businesses, you know, the ones that have several, lots of trucks and, you know, several satellite offices where, you know, wherever you live and that kind of thing, they got somebody handling this, either in-house or they farmed it out. Okay, you know, I haven't seen a really big business yet that is screwing up with this and really needs my help. Okay, it's going to end up that the businesses that need your help are going to be the smaller businesses, but you're not calling them because they're smaller businesses. All right, you're calling them because they need your help. Now, heating and air, I mean, these guys are used to large sums of money. You know, you replace, it's according to what you're doing. I mean, you're looking at $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, bam, right? I mean, that's the kind of money that they're looking at. Now that's revenue. They don't get all of that. And they also understand, the ones that stay in business, they also understand that they have to advertise. Sean, yeah, I think I answered that. We're going to look at all of the OTOs and all that stuff in just a minute. Jamil, let's say Lee will go over your call script. I think you said will I, it should be will I. You're asking me to go over the call script of the gatekeeper to get to the decision maker. Yeah, Jamil, don't, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. And if I'm butchering it, I really apologize. This is not like some medical businesses, plastic surgery, teeth whitening, you know, where there's a lot of competition and they have to spend several $1 million just to open one office, that kind of thing. Even chiropractors, which is a lot cheaper to open a small office for a chiropractor, but still, you got all that equipment, it costs a lot of money. And you got a doctor whose main goal is the health of, or I guess plastic surgery may or may not be health, okay? But their main goal is the medical care of their patient. And those guys actually, and gals, like actually do kind of like to be insulated from, you know, the rest of us. That's not what we're talking about here, Jamil. The beautiful thing about working with the trade, what we call in the United States, the trades, heating and air, plumbing, contractors and subcontractors, heating and air, plumbing, painting, roofers, et cetera, et cetera. The beautiful thing about working with them is they're not salespeople. They're not really out to avoid you. They do really like it when you don't, you know, when you actually tell them what you're trying to say really fast and really clearly so that they can make a decision because they're really busy. But Jamil, you can easily get to, you can call one of these businesses and you can easily get to either the decision maker, the owner, or at least talk to someone fairly intelligent. And if the decision maker or the owner is not there, all you got to do is ask the person you're talking to. Let's say just, you know, some kid answers the phone. He's just there to dig ditches for the plumber. Okay, that's all he does, you know, or to haul, you know, to help move the compressor around for the heating and air people. I mean, that, you know, is just a grunt, right? I mean, if you do happen to get somebody like that, just ask him, when's the boss going to get in? That's all you got to do. At least, you know, Jamil, I'm not sure if you're in the United States or somewhere else, but you do your version of the way I would say, when's the boss going to get in? So, you know, well, you know, I'm not really the one who, you know, decides that kind of stuff. Oh, cool. Well, listen, when's the boss going to get in? You know, what's the boss's name? Great. And then you call the boss back. Okay. Charles, everybody else seems to be hearing me. You might want to, well, this is kind of funny. He says, I can't hear you. So I'm sitting here telling him what to do. Let me just leave him a little message. Okay. Might want to log out and log back in. Hold on. Let me get back here where I was with your questions. Robert says some of these businesses who have spotty posts on their page may be because they're doing so well they don't have time or interest in generating more leads. Well, that's fine. This is not a mathematical proof, Robert. And in other words, it's not going to be that every business who, you know, who's posting some and not posting and then posting some, it's not going to be that every business has enough business, you know, has got enough, you know, customers. There are going to be a lot who are really just overloaded with their core business, and they just don't have the bandwidth or the manpower or woman power or person power to handle this. There's a ton of those, okay? And look, Robert, call them up. How long does it take to call up a business? Tell them your name. Hi, I'm Robert. I was looking at your Facebook page. looks like you could use a little help with that. I help businesses. Somebody time me. Somebody time me. I can't really time myself here. But anyway, ring, ring, ring. Yeah, hi, I'm Robert. You know, I'm Robert. I'm not yelling at your last name just for privacy concerns. Yeah, hi, I'm Robert. Looking at your Facebook page and notice y'all could use a little help with that. I help businesses just like yours with Facebook, and it results in their getting a lot more business. And just wanted to know if you might be interested in finding out some more about that, or learning a little more about that, or just sitting down and talking about that sometime. And by the way, I'm happy to send you some information. Robert, how long did that take? What, 2 seconds? 3 seconds, 4 seconds, something on that order? And they're going to say yes or no, okay? And saying no is fine, because if they don't want that, I don't want to screw around with talking to them anymore. I'm not going to be impolite and just slam down the phone, but I'm just going to politely say thank you very much and move on to the next lead. That's how sales is done, okay? So Robert, this is really, look, there are plenty of businesses that need your help, all right? But getting to them, getting to enough of them per unit time, if you do it the way I'm telling you to do it, is going to be pretty easy, but you are going to have to get organized a little bit, and you are going to have to do this. I hope you guys, all of you guys hear this next thing. You're going to have to do this on a very consistent basis. Frankly, because you don't want to make the same mistake that the businesses you're trying to help are making, all right? So just carve out an hour or two a day to do your prospecting. You're done, right? Yeah, Daniel, exactly. Just ask the question. It's not hard. Robert says, used to be a stockbroker. No problem making cold calls. Robert, this is awesome. You're going to do great, buddy, because I find that there are basically two big reasons that people who want to do local business marketing sort of stumble and don't really get any traction. The big one is that they lack sales skill. And I'm not talking about like Wolf of Wall Street level sales skill, you know, that kind of thing, or Gary Vaynerchuk's sales skill. I'm just talking about they just lack the basics of how do you prospect, how do you, get somebody an appointment, that kind of thing. You just lack that. Robert, if you're used to cold calling people, asking them if they want to buy stocks, you're good to go there. The other reason is that they just lack, they get unfocused. All right. In other words, they start one thing this week, and a lot of y'all don't realize that it's going to take a little longer than a few days to really get ramped up to where you have a real business. All right. And so, you're very susceptible to the quote unquote shiny object syndrome. Okay. So that's an issue. And the only other issue that I can think of is a lot of y'all don't, and this is people who don't come from a business or entrepreneurial background. A lot of y'all just don't have the basic framework of what things need to be in place to make a business, to make a recurring income business like this, and that's fair. Look, I mean, why should you know everything? You haven't done it. Okay, so I'm saying, look, guys, just set aside all the stuff, just go out and do it. Jamil says, looking to go after a certain type. Jamil, I'm not going to yell out your niche here. Go after a certain type of business for a certain type of marketing. Jamil, I personally would call them. I am a huge believer in the phone. All right, huge. It can save so much time, and it's not scary. Just call them up. The type of business that you're talking about, Jamil, you would call them anyway if you wanted to eat there, and it was eat there. Okay, so guys, it's a restaurant. I screwed that up. But anyway, okay, so it's a restaurant. So, I mean, you would call up the restaurant anyway to see if they served this, or, you had an allergy to that, or if you needed to make reservations. I mean, you're capable of doing that, right? So just take that level of communicating with people and just use that in your sales communication, and quit trying to make this hard. And quit trying to make it stressful, all right? So, what do you sell them? Sean and everybody else who wants to know, I'm going to, this is LeadFlow Pro, LeadFlow360. It's got some other bells and whistles, some cool stuff. I'm not going to go over this stuff with you. You can take all your leads, you can add it to a campaign, you can sort of segregate your stuff and manage campaigns here. It's just a way, so like if you wanted to like approach, you know, we're talking about heating and air. If you wanted to approach heating and air businesses in different cities, Atlanta, Denver, let's go over to England, London, Birmingham, you know, wherever, you know, if you want to keep that a little organized, you can do this with the campaign thing. That's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea at all, okay? So you can do that. The funnel thing and the marketing tools is, you bet, Robert. The marketing tools is, well, you know, it's basically that. This is a minor thing, okay? It's just stuff that will help you out. Don't get caught up in this. I've already told you the big reason that you need this. Local mini funnels is just, if you want to do more of an email thing, and notice I suggested that you front end this with phone call, okay? But if you really just wanted to go pure email, then you can use the local mini funnel thing and set up a little funnel, okay? Hook this up to your autoresponder and all that. I don't really suggest you do that, guys, because I know for a fact, especially when you're talking about the trades, you know, contractors, what we call subcontractors in the United States, they respond really well to you just calling them up, acting like an adult and asking them a question. They respond really, really well to that. What are you going to sell them? I made a little text file with everything that you need to check this out, okay? So click this to go to the sales page for LeadFlow360, and I've even got the sales pages for the 4 OTOs. Now we're gonna look at the OTOs before we leave, okay? But if you want to check these out on your own, just copy this into your browser. It will take you there. Look at it to your heart's content. And let's do this. I'm going to pop this into the chat. You can download this, basically you download this little text file, okay? Open it up so that you have all of these links. Let me show you a great thing to sell these businesses. I'm going to show you two things. Hey, Fiona, how are you? It's nice to see you on a webinar again. Fiona from London. Fiona, we were talking a little earlier about how wonderful the weather is in England, he said sarcastically. Apparently it's pretty awful. But anyway, I'm going to show you a couple of things you can sell them. I want to talk to you about bundling these two things together, because if you bundle these two things together, you can come up with like $150 a month, $200 a month recurring income from one client that's really just probably got about a 95% chance of lasting for several years, okay? Fiona says, darn, it's awful. So my good friend, Gene Kalinda, I was a dear friend of mine, does the following, and I'm sending you to a sales page of hers. You probably saw this as something she launched a while back. But basically, and she does this. This is not just some BS that she thought of to sell you guys. Okay, I know Jean very well. She has enough clients doing this to where she has essentially a whole nother income just coming in on autopilot just from what I'm about to show you, okay? Basically, she sets up a social media image posting service. And this is really cool because you don't have to write an article and post it. That's stupid, because then you're going to need to write a lot of articles. And look, heating and air, all you're trying to do is make the page look alive. You're just trying to make the company look like they care about the page, so that when somebody who wants their services goes to their page and a couple of competitors, their page doesn't look dead or doesn't look stupid. That's all you're trying to do. You're just trying to solve that one problem for them, getting cool stuff posted on their page, hopefully on a daily basis. And so what Jean does is she has all these little, I guess you would call these memes, right? And she she uses software. I'm going to show you the software in just a second, guys. She uses software and she sets this up. It takes literally her outsourcer like an hour and a half or so to set up this whole thing. And once it's set up forever. In other words, it just recycles on itself. You can go see her sales page for this right there. I just popped that in the chat. It's also, that link is also on the text file that I sent you. So this is a really cool thing. Now, this is a sales letter. I'm not going to sit here and read this to you because that would be utterly stupid. I think Daniel says, gosh, I could do that. Believe me, guys, Jean has been doing local business marketing. She's actually been doing a form of it before we really had the internet, okay? Jean's older than me, okay? So that means she's old, right? So she's been doing a form of it before we even had the internet. This lady is the real deal, absolutely. Jean Kalinda. Yeah, this is easy. And she uses this really cheap software. Yeah, it's going to cost you monthly, and I think I'm fixing to switch over to this because Jean keeps telling me that it's better than what I was using, and I'll show you what I was using. But she says it's also cheaper, but it's called Post Planner, and you can find it at postplanner.com. And all of these little links I'm showing you should be on your, see, here it is, on your little text file, postplanner.com. Terrence, hold that thought. I, for years, used Hootsuite. Hootsuite's a little more expensive than Post Planner, but Post Planner, besides the fact it's a little less expensive, which is not that big of a deal, you're not talking about that much per month for either of them. But Post Planner can cycle through this stuff over and over again, and I like that. I like that. Hootsuite, we have to load up every couple of months. We just have to reload basically we have to reload a CSV file up to Hootsuite like every couple of months per client. It's a little bit of a pain in the neck if I've been using this a long time, so you know, extracting myself from this, not hard, but you know, it's going to take a slight bit of thought. But for you guys, I would start off with, I would just use Post Planner. That's what Jean recommends here, okay, for HVAC. And yeah, now another thing, look, so we're talking about with Jean's thing, we're talking about you. Yeah, so Terrence and Anthony, thank you so much. She has one of these for plumbers. She has one of these, I think she's coming out with one in a few, not in a few days. Yeah, Monday. She's coming out with one Monday. As a matter of fact, she and I are going to try to do a webinar about this maybe Sunday. She's out of town right now, but she's going to come out with one Monday. I think it's about painters. Don't hold me to that. But it's yet another trade, right? And it's really cool. And it's the same kind of idea. I mean, this is like no-brainer, recurring income for you, but it's a service that these guys desperately need, and it's going to have a huge impact on them. Now, if I were you, besides just Jean's posting service, I would actually add on top of that just social media posting to Twitter. I mean, you can use Post Planner, you can use Hootsuite. It's pretty easy to do what we call curated content. All right. So curated content means go find an article that's interesting. It doesn't have to just be about heating and air. It could be just about building, you know, the trades, right? You know, building stuff. So just go find some, you know, articles in decent websites, Forbes, Huffington Post, nothing political. Okay, don't stay away from politics, but Forbes, Huffington Post, because they have decently written stuff. There are a few other places where I would look. Make yourself, like with Hootsuite, you put this all in a little CSV file, and then you upload the file, and bam, you're done, right? And you can use the same file for all your clients. All right. Post Planner is a little easier because yeah, you upload this, but you can also recycle it, so it can just do the same thing over and over again. Why would you want to do the same thing over and over again so that you don't have to upload it again? And if you get enough posts there, like if you got 60 posts there and you were doing one a day, then that means that each one would only show up 6 times a year, and nobody's going to care that it was a, what showed up in February, March, April, that they saw it again in April. Nobody's going to, I mean, that's just not an issue, right? So this is cool, guys. This is cool. Adding the Twitter to this is a complete no-brainer. Most of these guys, yeah, Jamil, we got a replay. Just give me a few hours to get it out, and then I'll put it up on a web page and just send an email out to everybody. Look at it to your heart's content. Most of these guys that are screwing up on Facebook are also screwing up on Twitter for exactly the same reason. If you're charging them $100 a month for the Facebook meme posting service, you easily add $50 to another $100 a month to add in Twitter, okay? And it's going to take you all of, I don't know, per client, per every 2 months, maybe once you get your first curated content CSV file straightened out. Again, you can use the same thing over and over again. God, what, 15 minutes to Rafal, hang on, but it's going to take another, it's going to take 15 minutes like every 2 months just to do this. So extremely, an extremely good use of your time. Let's just put it that way. Rafal, this has all of the links that I'm talking about right there, and I sent that so that everybody else can see. Rafal, just click on that. Should open up a text file. Basically, it should open up this file minus what is highlighted in blue here, because this is the URL of this file. So yeah, it should open up all of that. One more thing, then I'm gonna let you go. We've been on here about an hour and 15 minutes. I really appreciate you getting on this webinar. It's kind of a late date. I just had this great idea. And, I'm a little spontaneous, and I'm kind of like, man, this is a great idea. These guys really need this. And when I think of stuff like that, I just want to do it and help you guys out. OTOs, okay? So basically, we have this would be the first OTO. It's a professional version. You get some extra stuff, okay? Do you have to have it? Absolutely, you do not have to have it, okay? So if you really on a tight budget, don't get it. Upgrade later. It'll cost you a little bit more to upgrade later, but it is what it is. You can read what else you get here, professional agency branding module. I haven't even looked at this, honestly, guys. Micro commitments funnels module. I haven't really looked at that myself, so I can't really talk about that. That link that I just clicked on is right here. Okay, that's that link right there. Look at that yourself. So that's OTO 1. OTO numero dos is, what was this? Oh, this was a video. Was that one? That was one. Excuse me, that was 3. Hold on a minute, guys. Yeah, now I'm in order. Yeah, agency license is going to unload a few extra features. Do you really need this? I mean, if you want to go whole hog, do it. You don't have to have it. Being able to send unlimited emails, I'm kind of predicating this on maybe you're going to take me up on the phone calling thing, at which point you don't have to send unlimited emails. Email marketing's great, but it can also be a huge time suck. I do like this though. Okay, so we're on OTO2. I do like the ability to direct message any of these leads from the software, and the message appears on Facebook Messenger for the recipient of the message. I really like that. Okay, so if you can afford it, do that. You don't have to, okay? And then we were at 3, which I was looking at a little earlier. 3 is basically a little, I mean, 3 is great. It's just that it's not exactly the same thing. This is video marketing software. No, excuse me. This has to do with SEO, voice ranking, and all that stuff. It's a little bit of a side deal. I mean, you can read about it when you get there. Of all 4 of these, I think this is the one that you probably need the least. I'm not saying that you don't need it. I know these guys personally. They make fabulous software. They actually sold this software a few months ago, did really well with it, got really good reviews from it. But of all the stuff that I'm showing you, this would be the thing that you need the least. Let's just put it that way. And then what do we have? Oh, and if you just want to, for some reason, resell LeadFlow360 to other people, you can get Resellers Rights here, okay? You know, I mean, that I'm not being negative about that, but I'm just saying that's really another kind of business, okay? I'm trying to focus on the local marketing business, and specifically you finding businesses who need social media help and selling them an intelligent product. This kind of muddies the water a little bit for me. But if you want to do this for some other reason, like you got a big list of people who buy this stuff, then buy it, right? Yeah, Jose. Yeah, Jose says the Facebook Messenger thing is double whammy. Yeah, because Facebook has got that, you know, also emails saying, hey, you got a message. And also when you log into Facebook, you got all those little indicators, you know, the little red things that say, you know, you need to look here and blah, blah, blah. If you've got, you know, if you're pushing your notifications to your phone, then, you know, they're going to be walking around and it's going to say, you know, you've got a message from so-and-so on their phone. So yeah, Jose, I like the Facebook Messenger thing a lot. Okay, I like that a lot. But and it's not that I don't like it, but the thing that I think is the least valuable for this, although if you can use it in your business, get it. But the thing that the least valuable for this is the ranking stuff, for the voice stuff. Those are the OTOs. I think I've showed you everything that I meant to show you, and I think I've tried to just unpack the whole thing for you. So, any other questions? Been on here about an hour and 20 minutes. I'm happy to answer your question. Isn't it against Facebook rules to cold call, and what is the chance of them accepting the message? Fiona, I've never had an issue with that. Honestly, I personally get, look, you don't want to spam, Fiona, okay? So, and we're not talking about spamming. We're talking about you finding someone. I mean, I get messages like this for my business all the time. You finding someone who's a really good fit for what you're selling and then just messaging them. Well, that's really not what Facebook is trying to cut down on. They're trying to cut down on automated spam stuff, and that's not what this is. Jamal says, how many searches can you run per hour, per day? Also, how many Facebook messages? Jamal, I'm going to have to ask that question to Han and Adrian. I've been wondering that myself. I was poking around trying to figure that out. I couldn't quite do it. I could probably find it. I just didn't have time. So number of emails per day and number of messages. I'll ask them, and if they can get back with me before I send you out a link to see the replay, I'll include that information in the replay. Jose says it tells you your limits. Yeah, it does. Having said that, just honestly, I don't know enough about it to help you understand how much that would be, right? If that makes any sense. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's not really telling you here because I'm already logged in, but when I first logged in, it did tell me, and I was well within. I see greatness in you, Lee. Thank you, Jamil. I appreciate that. I'll find out, guys. We'll find out the inside skinny on everything. Anything else that I need to ask? Any other questions you got? Have you guys ever been on a in one of my ongoing classes on, like I have courses every now and then. I had one fabulous one at the beginning of the year. It was called One New Client Every Week. I've been helping people like you, just break free from the 9 to 5 for years now. And that particular thing is one of the best things that I've ever done. I got more feedback from that. And I generally get a lot of feedback from very happy people, but I just knocked the ball out of the park with that. But anyway, I'm coming up with another set of classes, and I try to keep this stuff because I do it as a group. Okay, these are group webinars. All right. Since I do it as a group, I can charge you a lot less money because I'm getting what I need per hour in order to justify me spending my time on this. But I'm coming up with another one. I think I'm going to be probably selling right near the end of the month, and it's called 30 Days to Freedom, and it is addressing some of those issues that I was talking about earlier in the webinar about the things that really dog people and keep them from having really good success with this stuff. 30 Days to Freedom is going to be all about how to intelligently structure a business very much like the one you're looking at, but structure a business so that email marketing is actually, so you're building an email list with your target type of client, and the email marketing is actually doing the prospecting for you. Now you can see the beauty of that, and it doesn't take a huge list to get to where you're just peeling off, client after client after client, right? You're not going to get quite as many clients in the very beginning, but also you're going to take the burden of doing all of this prospecting off of yourself because it's going to be done essentially through automation forever. So putting that together right now, and should be selling that toward the end of the month. So you want to look to that. Terrence, yeah, you can do this yourself. Yeah, Terrence is talking about another niche, how to get niches, how to get memes made. Yeah, Terrence, Fiverr, really, Fiverr. Now it's going to cost you some money up front. I don't know exactly how much money all of that costs, Gene. But so your first business of that type, it's going to cost you some money, right? But then Terrence, if you continue selling to those businesses, you continue using the same memes over and over and over again ad infinitum, forever. There's nothing dated about them, right? And especially with this software, the Post Planner, I mean, you just set it up and it just rolls over and over and over and over. So Terrence, a little upfront money if you're doing this for some other type of business, but you'll more than make that back, with your second and third client. Cool, guys. Thank you so much. I think we're done. Just give me a little while to download this. Jamil, I'm going to read that in 1 second. Just give me a little time to download this and, cut out the, I like to cut out the beginning where I'm asking if you can hear and all that stuff, because that just is stupid. It's not on the webinar, it's stupid on the replay. So, and then we'll put it up on a site and you can take a look at it. Jamil, my biggest thing is prospecting, mainly get on the phone first. Had varying success selling reputation videos as one-offs, really want to get into selling the press release. Yeah, press releases, God, those I've got a great course, guys, about selling press releases. It's one of the hidden gems that you can easily make a lot of money off of. So, Jamil, I think what you're telling me is you have some trouble getting yourself to prospect on the phone. I think that's what you're telling me, okay? And I'm telling you, one, I understand. Two, you're probably putting too much pressure on yourself, frankly. And, Jamil, if you want to really, take it to the next level, like in a few days when I start mailing you guys about my new course, sign up for the course, because we're going to cover that kind of stuff in the course. And another great thing about my courses, guys, is that you actually get some access to me via email. I have a specific email that, there's going to be homework. You're going to, email me. I'm going to be helping you with this stuff, right? I'm not going to just tell you, hey, run off and do this. I mean, guys, I've literally been doing this ever since 2007, okay? I'm not going to say, hey, run off and do this. I'm going to be helping you do it. Not doing it for you, but helping you do it. So Jamil, the real answer to your question is sign up for the next course, okay? Well, Jamil, your last thing, can you set up a consultation with me? I don't do one-on-one consultations because I have to, honestly, guys, I have to charge so much money that it just kind of just doesn't make sense. But in order to take my time away from something else and put it on this. But Jamil, the email access to me for, a few weeks, it's going to be well worth what I'm going to ask for this next course. Lee, the press release course, hang on a minute, buddy. Oh, this is a list of all of my current products. You can read all about them here. Press Release Empire is the course that they're talking about. It's phenomenal, comes with really cool software. And you can read about our other courses there also. Virtually all of these, not all of these, come with really cool software. Software is very well supported, and we pride ourselves on having great support in general. You bet, Lee. Thank you so much for asking me that. Monica, I need to create a good Facebook fan page. So how do I do this? Where is good instruction to get this done? Monica, Facebook will tell you how to do it. I mean, I'm literally just Google Facebook business page, and they will tell you everything that you need to do. Now, if you're going to sell the service I'm talking about, the meme service, then what you need to do, Monica, is you need to set up a sample, like we were talking about heating and air. Okay, so a sample, quote unquote, heating and air business, and then have your, you use the posting software and all that stuff. And in Jean's product, she that I was talking to you about, she tells you every step how to do this. Okay, so you're not going to have to reinvent the wheel. Monica, in case you missed it, I had a text file with all of these links that I'm talking about right here on the text file. Okay, so I'm going to send that to you so you can get that easily. Hang on, guys. So what I would do, I mean, if you're talking about specifically to sell what I'm talking about, Monica, then you would want to not only set up a business page. How to set up a generic business page you can find out from Facebook. Okay, it's not hard. Okay, and they tell you what you need, and reading it, I find it very complete. But how to set up a business page where you can point, you can tell someone, hey, look at this link, okay, on Facebook. Send them a link. They look at it. Yeah, I see that. Well, we're talking about doing the same thing for your business. Would you like for us to do that kind of thing for your business where you have all these cool, where you have a cool post every day? Yes, I would love if you did that for me, Lee. That kind of thing, if you want to sell like that, which is a great way to sell stuff, Monica, then you're probably going to need something like Jean's product. But fortunately, Jean's product here is the one I'm looking at right here, which you can't see because of that, can you? The link to this page right here is in the text file that I just sent you, Monica. So click that, go here, read all about it, but it will tell you all those steps. Okay, so I hope I answered that question well. I feel like I kind of stumbled over myself a little bit. Excellent, guys. I'm gonna call it a day, and this should be up in a few hours, and I will email you guys. Thank you, Daryl. I really appreciate that, buddy. I'm gonna email you guys and encourage you to take me up on it, because you're looking at a phenomenal business opportunity to do my favorite thing. You bet, Mark. I appreciate that. To do my favorite thing, which is create recurring income. Any of you guys who hung around me for a while, I hate selling one-offs. I mean, I do it, but that's not really the deal. You sell a one-off to get through the recurring part. Sell recurring income products. Build an automated business. Amazon Prime, that's an automated business. That's the kind of thing you want. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. You have a great day, and this will be up fairly as soon as we can get it up, okay? See y'all later. You bet, Brian.